Well, it was a tale of two halves for sure. Um, I think that first half we played about as well as I think we can play. And then unfortunately, well, actually, I think it was more them. They picked up their aggressiveness and at both ends of the floor, and we didn't go with them, unfortunately. But in the end, it was a really good win. I told the team at halftime how I was really impressed with our win at Auburn, down 14, was showing no signs of coming back. But we found something deep down and came back and gutted out a tough win. Well, now tonight we had a 30-point halftime lead. So we showed some great character at Auburn. We wanted to show that same kind of character, expand on a lead, and we didn't. And so we've got some things we've got to clean up and work on, but overall it's a good win, decisive. Oregon State's a good team. They're gonna do well, have a great chance to win their conference, and I wish them nothing but the best. So 10-0 sounds pretty good going into a pretty big game down in LA this weekend. So I'm excited for that.
As an aficionado of offensive basketball, just what was it like to watch your team and how efficient they were in that first half?
Yeah, 16 assists on I don't know how many field goals we made, but we were getting to the line. There was really nothing. We took care of the ball. 3 turnovers in the first half. What did we have? 10 in the second. The second half we just kind of lost that, that killer instinct. But we got great, production from a lot of different players. I thought we moved the ball well in the first half. Second half we became really point guard centric, and we didn't get that same kind of movement. But we'll learn from it, get better, and in the end, it was a really good win against a good team.
Yesterday, you talked about just not having hardly any time to prep for this game and to kind of like focus it on it. Considering that, like what went into that first half where you guys shot like 76%?
Maybe we found something. Maybe we're better if we don't worry so much about the other team with a lot of time to work on a game plan and just let them play. And that's what we did in the first half. Katie Fiso was incredible tonight. I thought Sarah Rambis did well. Sarah is, the one thing against Oregon State, if you have somebody that can make that mid-range shot, one of your inside players, then you're going to get it all night long because their big kid will not leave the old dotted line inside. Never. And she was making them tonight. Yes, sir.
How tough is it to keep a team at the level you want them to play? I mean, you're winning by 30, they shot 76% in the first half. That's almost impossible to maintain, but how do you try and get there?
Yeah, that's you just continue to work at it, and part of it was me. I don't think I coached very, very good in the second half. I kind of got on them a little bit when I could tell that, we weren't playing as hard as we did in the first half, and that may have affected them in a negative way. I got to be a little bit more supportive, I guess. It's hard to do against a really good team. I mean, Scott's one of the best coaches in the country, and he has just a tremendous program. You knew those guys weren't going to go down like that, and they came out and showed what they're made of. A lot of character, but that's a good question, Aaron. I'm seriously, it's hard. No, it's hard. No, it's hard. It really is hard to do, to maintain that kind of intensity for 40 minutes.
I'll follow that up with maybe a dumb question, but how much does it help when your point guard has 14 assists, which was almost a school record? How much does that just make everything work?
Yeah, she's been amazing the last couple of weeks, you guys, playing so well. And part of it was we made baskets. We shot it really well in the first half. She had a lot of opportunities to get multiple assists in the last game too, and we just didn't make any shots. So, we got great production all the way through the lineup. Mia, broke out of her, she kind of had a tough trip and played well tonight. And I thought our bench came in and did a really good job. We expanded the lead when we went with, Janiah Williams and Amina and Avery and A.T. Sorry about that. Kind of forgot.
You said before the season you wanted small ball, wanted to create havoc. Do you feel like you're doing that on a pretty consistent basis?
A little bit. We forced a lot more turnovers in that first half. We weren't quite as aggressive in the second half. Again, to their credit, they didn't pass as much in the second half. They lowered their head and were beating us off the dribble. But yeah, we played at the pace we wanted to play. We knew that pace would be difficult for them to keep up with. That's just not their game. But You guys will win. It's a good win, man. It's a good win. You got to keep it going.
I guess on that line, huge test on Sunday at UCLA.
Yeah.
Just thoughts on that one, and what does this do in terms of preparing for maybe the toughest team you play all year?
Yeah, we'll at least have 2 days to prepare for that game. You know, they're really good. They have no weakness, and then they have maybe the best player in college basketball in the middle. We're not built like we've been built the last couple of years, where we could match her size for size. We did a really good job on her last year, but we've got nothing to lose. All right, and I think we're a good team, and if we shoot the ball well, we'll see what happens. But we're going to have to play a great game, no question. They're where they're at for a reason, and I think they're healthy. They've had some issues there, but I think they're all healthy, and got our work cut out for us.